Dear Aries, stop scrolling right now, because in the next 24 hours something is happening in the sky that only comes around once a year, and this time it's landing directly on top of your sign. The full moon of July 29th, 2026 is rising, and it is bringing a wave of energy so intense that many of you will feel it before you even understand it. Old patterns are ending, hidden truths are surfacing, decisions you've been avoiding are about to demand an answer. This is not just another full moon, this is a turning point. Before we go further, if you're new here, hit that subscribe button right now, because I don't want you to miss what's coming for your sign in the weeks ahead. Give this video a like if you're ready for the truth, no sugar coating. And Aries, I want to hear from you. Drop a comment below telling me what area of your life feels like it's about to shift. Love, money, or purpose? Let's begin, because the next 24 hours matter more than you think. Number 1. Why this full moon is different for Aries. Every full moon carries energy, but not every full moon speaks directly to your soul the way this one does. On July 29th, 2026, the moon reaches its fullness in a way that activates the deepest layers of the Aries identity, the parts of you tied to independence, courage, and the raw desire to be seen as who you truly are, not who others expect you to be. This is not a subtle nudge. This is a spotlight. For months, many Aries natives have felt like they were living in two different versions of themselves. One version that keeps the peace, stays quiet, and goes along with what's expected, and another version underneath that is aching to break free, speak up, and finally choose themselves. This full moon does not allow that split to continue. It forces integration. It asks you directly, which version of yourself are you going to be from this point forward? Full moons are traditionally moments of culmination. They represent endings, revelations, and emotional peaks tied to something that began roughly 6 months earlier. Think back to late January 2026. Whatever intention, decision, or seed you planted then, whatever situation quietly started shifting in your life around that time, is now reaching its climax. You may not have consciously planted that seed, but your soul did. And now, the universe is collecting on that investment. What makes this moon particularly potent for Aries is the friction it creates between your need for freedom and your need for security. You are being asked to stop postponing the decision between the two. Staying comfortable is no longer an option, because comfort itself is starting to feel like a cage. You will notice this most in situations where you've been keeping the peace at your own expense, a job that no longer excites you, a relationship where you've dimmed your fire, a dream you shelved because it felt too risky. The next 24 hours will not be gentle, but they will be honest. Expect sudden clarity. Expect emotions to rise faster than you can control them. Expect conversations that have been avoided for weeks to suddenly happen, whether you initiate them or not. This moon does not wait for permission. It simply reveals. Your job right now isn't to resist what comes up. It's to listen to it, because underneath the intensity is the exact information you've been needing. Number 2. Love and relationships under this full moon. If there is one area of life where this full moon will hit hardest, it's your relationships, Aries. Whether you are single, dating, or committed, the next 24 hours are going to reveal the truth about where you actually stand with the people closest to you. And that truth may not match the story you've been telling yourself. For Aries in relationships, this full moon illuminates the difference between passion and true partnership. You may suddenly realize that a relationship you've been holding on to out of loyalty, habit, or fear of being alone no longer reflects who you are becoming. This isn't a sign to panic, it's a sign to get honest. The moon is asking you, Does this relationship still excite you, or are you simply comfortable inside it? Those are two very different things, and Aries energy was never built to settle for comfort alone. For those in strong, healthy partnerships, this full moon can bring a beautiful and unexpected depth. A conversation you've been avoiding, about the future, about commitment, about needs that haven't been voiced, may finally happen, and it may bring you closer than ever. Full moons under this kind of pressure often force couples to stop performing and start being real with each other. If your relationship is built on solid ground, this honesty will strengthen it. If it isn't, cracks that were papered over will become impossible to ignore. For single Aries, this is an especially electric moment. Your magnetism is at its peak right now, and you may find yourself drawn to someone unexpected, someone who challenges you rather than simply admires you. Be careful though, because the intensity of this full moon can make new connections feel more significant than they actually are in the moment. Give yourself 24 to 48 hours before making any major decisions about someone new. Let the initial spark settle before you decide what it means. There's also a strong possibility of closure arriving during this window. A message from someone in your past, a final conversation that needed to happen, or simply an internal release where you stop waiting for someone to come back. This is the moon doing its job, clearing space so that what's meant for you actually has room to arrive. Don't fight the ending if it comes. Aries, your heart was built to recover fast and love again even faster. Trust that this closure, however sharp it feels, is protecting your future happiness. Number 3, career, money, and your next move. Now let's talk about your ambition, Aries, because this full moon is lighting a fire under your career and financial life that you simply cannot ignore. You are a sign built for action, for competition, for chasing the next big goal. And lately, some of you have felt strangely stuck, like your usual drive has been buried under obligations, hesitation, or other people's expectations. That ends within the next 24 hours. This full moon activates a powerful truth about your professional path. You already know what you need to do. The hesitation isn't about lacking information. It's about fear of the disruption that comes with actually doing it. Maybe it's finally applying for that role you've had bookmarked for weeks. Maybe it's having the courage to ask for the raise you know you deserve. Maybe it's walking away from a work environment that has slowly drained your natural fire. Whatever it is, the moon is bringing it to the surface with a level of clarity you cannot pretend not to see. Financially, this period asks you to look honestly at where your money has been going and whether it aligns with the future you actually want. Aries energy is impulsive by nature, and while that impulsiveness has served you in bold, brave decisions, it may have also led to spending patterns that don't support your long-term goals. This full moon isn't punishing you for that. It's simply illuminating it so you can choose differently starting now. Expect a bill, a number, or a financial conversation in the next day that forces this awareness into view. For those of you considering a major career pivot, a new job, a business idea, a bold pitch, the next 24 hours carry unusually strong momentum. Full moons don't typically favor new beginnings. They favor culminations. But for fire signs like Aries, this particular lunar peak can act as the final push needed to say yes to something you've been quietly building toward. If an opportunity crosses your path in this window, even if it feels sudden or slightly uncomfortable, pay close attention. This is not random timing. Watch also for recognition. Full moons illuminate, and that includes illuminating your efforts to people who matter: a boss, a client, a collaborator. Work you've done quietly, without much fanfare, may suddenly get noticed. Let it. Don't downplay your accomplishments the way you sometimes do when you're focused on the next goal. Pause and let this moment of visibility land. You've earned it. Number 4. Your body, your energy, and the physical impact. Full moons are notorious for disrupting sleep, amplifying emotions, and stirring up physical restlessness. And for Aries, ruled by fiery, high-octane Mars, this effect is often doubled. In the next 24 hours, don't be surprised if your body feels like it's running on a different frequency than usual. Many Aries natives will experience a surge of physical energy that feels almost impossible to contain. You may feel the urge to move, to exercise harder than usual, to clean your entire living space at midnight, or to start a project you've been putting off for weeks. This is not random restlessness. It's your body trying to process and release the intensity of the lunar energy. The healthiest thing you can do right now is move that energy rather than suppress it. Go for a run, hit the gym, dance around your kitchen if that's what it takes. Stagnant Aries energy turns into irritability and frustration very quickly, so give it somewhere to go. On the flip side, some of you may feel the opposite, a sudden crash of exhaustion, almost like your body is forcing you to stop and rest after weeks or months of pushing too hard. If this is you, listen to it. Aries is a sign that often prides itself on relentless momentum, but even fire needs fuel, and this full moon may be revealing just how depleted your reserves have become. Resting right now is not weakness, it's strategic recovery before your next big push. Emotionally, expect heightened reactivity. Small frustrations may feel larger than they are. Patience may run thinner than usual. This is common under full moon energy, but it is especially pronounced for Aries because your ruling planet Mars thrives on directness and quick resolution, and full moons are messy, emotional, and slow to resolve by nature. The friction between your instinct to act immediately and the moon's demand that you simply feel and witness what's happening can create real internal tension. Headaches, tension in the shoulders and neck, and disrupted sleep patterns are commonly reported by fire signs during this kind of lunar peak. Hydrate more than usual. Limit caffeine and alcohol in this 24-hour window if you can. Spend a few minutes in silence, away from screens, even if stillness doesn't come naturally to you. Your nervous system is processing a lot right now, and giving it even 10 quiet minutes can prevent the emotional overwhelm from spilling into unnecessary conflict with people around you. Number 5. The spiritual message hidden in this full moon. Beyond the practical impact on your love life, career, and body, this full moon carries a spiritual message specifically for Aries, and it's one worth sitting with, even if you don't consider yourself especially spiritual. At its core, this lunar peak is asking you to redefine what courage actually means to you. For most of your life, Aries, courage has looked like action, moving fast, speaking first, charging ahead before fear can catch up to you. But this full moon introduces a different, quieter form of courage, the courage to pause, to feel something fully before reacting to it, and to sit with uncertainty instead of forcing an immediate resolution. This kind of courage doesn't come naturally to your sign, and that's exactly why the universe is placing it in front of you right now. Many of you will notice unusually vivid dreams in the nights surrounding this full moon. Pay attention to them. Fire signs often receive spiritual downloads through vivid, almost cinematic dream imagery rather than quiet meditation, and this lunar peak amplifies that channel significantly. If a person, place, or symbol keeps appearing, don't dismiss it as random. Write it down. The message may not make sense immediately, but it will within the coming weeks. There is also a theme of forgiveness surfacing right now, not necessarily forgiving someone else, but forgiving yourself. Aries can be remarkably hard on themselves when they feel they've moved too slowly, hesitated too long, or chosen safety over boldness in a moment that called for bravery. This full moon offers a release valve for that self-judgment. Whatever decision you regret, whatever moment you wish you'd handled differently, this is your invitation to let it go. You were doing the best you could with what you knew at the time. That chapter is closing now, and self-forgiveness is the key that unlocks the next one. Synchronicities will likely increase in the next day or two. Repeated numbers, unexpected encounters, a song or message that arrives at exactly the right moment. This is the universe confirming that you're being guided, even in the moments that feel chaotic or uncertain. Trust it. The full moon isn't creating chaos to hurt you. It's creating movement so that stagnant areas of your life can finally shift into something more aligned with who you're becoming. Number 6. What to actually do in the next 24 hours. So, Aries, what should you actually do with all of this? Let's make it practical, because insight without action isn't worth much to a fire sign like you. First, create space for stillness, even briefly. I know this goes against every instinct you have, but 10 to 15 minutes of quiet reflection in this 24-hour window will help you process what's rising instead of reacting impulsively and regretting it later. Journaling works especially well for Aries during full moons. Write down what feels unresolved, what relationship or situation keeps crossing your mind, and what decision you've been avoiding. Second, have the conversation you've been putting off. If someone has been on your mind, a partner, a friend, a family member, this is the window to finally say what needs to be said. The full moon's energy supports direct, honest communication right now, even if it feels uncomfortable. Avoiding it any longer will only prolong the tension. Third, move your body deliberately. Whether that's an intense workout, a long walk, or simply pacing around your living room while you think, physical movement will help you release the surge of energy this moon brings without letting it turn into unnecessary conflict with the people around you. Fourth, pay attention to endings. If something concludes in the next day, a job, a friendship, a phase of a relationship, resist the urge to immediately fill that space with something new. Let the ending breathe. Aries hates a vacuum, but this particular void is meant to be sat with, at least for a little while, so that what comes next is a true choice rather than a reflexive reaction to discomfort. Finally, watch for a sign of recognition or validation, whether that's professional, financial, or personal. This full moon isn't only about endings and confrontation, it's also about seeing clearly, sometimes for the first time, that your efforts have mattered more than you realized. Let it in. You don't have to earn every good thing twice by refusing to acknowledge it when it arrives. Aries, the next 24 hours are not something happening to you. They're something happening for you. Every conversation, every wave of emotion, every sudden realization is clearing space for the version of your life you've been quietly working toward. This full moon doesn't ask you to be perfect. It asks you to be honest with others and, more importantly, with yourself. Trust the timing of what's unfolding right now, even the parts that feel uncomfortable. Fire signs grow through friction, not despite it. Whatever shifts in the next day, know that it is moving you closer to alignment, not further from it. If this video spoke to you, make sure you're subscribed, because the sky isn't done moving, and neither are you. Drop a comment below and tell me exactly what shifted for you during this full moon. I read every single one, and I want to know how this energy is showing up in your life right now. Stay bold, stay aware, and I'll see you in the next video, where we'll go even deeper into what the stars have planned for you next.